Okay, hi YASers. This is Tamie Campbell again. I'm here with Courtney Bega because I couldn't get my computer to work. Just to let you know, first of all, I want to apologize for being so late with this. Family things coming, and guess what? Skating sometimes has to take second or third place. Um, and then, of course, couldn't get the computer to work. So here we are. Um, Finally, getting your reviews in. So, the first thing I want to say is you guys have made great strides, I think, in your bravery to get in and out of our figure skating vertical and horizontal body positions. The stretching, the balance, the shapes you're making with your body are just really, really amazing, really nice. So, just so that you know what I did, I watched everything twice. I watched them once, and then I had to go and do some research on your choreographers because I'm kind of ignorant about that. And then I watched it a second time. And I learned a lot. It's kind of like when I teach judges, I really learn more than I teach, and that's the best thing about working with other people. And I just want you to know that when I got done, I feel like I've been schooled. So, just going to go with these in the order that I watched them. Mark, Rambert Dance Company. I could not find anything by a single choreographer. So I just kind of got a full overview of what they do, and they're very contemporary. I thought your opening, the interesting body usage with the shapes and with the movement. But then the problem I have is we have a slight disconnect for me because your back is so beautiful and arched and straight. And that's not really contemporary for me. You did, I think, one contraction. I would like to see more of that to really fit in that contemporary vein. The program was very musical, especially like the mixture of turns and the curved pattern in contrast with the straight line with the with the music. I thought it went really well together, showing that dichotomy. I gave you 4 stars. Sean, Jack Cole. I don't know why I've never heard of Jack Cole before. I work in a musical theater. I've been to musical theater. I just cannot believe I've never heard of anyone before Bob Fosse. So I learned a lot. Thank you. And what I kind of gleaned from it is that it's a combination. He combined jazz and big band for the first time. So I love jazz hot. The problem I have with it is it's been done so many times on the ice, on the stage, all over the place, that I think it's really, really hard to be original with that particular piece of music. I thought your skater used her arms really well, but for jazz hot, I would like to see more upper body and especially hips. It's supposed to be sexy. You got to get that girl swinging her hips. I thought the spiral and the layback both were really nice position-wise, but could have had way more interesting arms in them. And at the end, I loved the sharpness of the final pose, but I felt like the movements going on the bower and on the ending turns into the bower, into the ending pose, could have been sharper to really, they're really sharp indications in the music, and it was too flowy. So I'd really like to see that contrast and really hit those beats. In fact, I think that's what he was telling Marilyn Monroe. So I gave you 2.5 stars. Phoebe. Balanchine. I knew Balanchine. Yay! I liked that you used the lesser known parts of Firebird. And I really liked seeing Mariah. I haven't seen her for a long time. Good job. The opening was soft and pretty balletic, just like I would expect. And then the movements to the next section, which is the very popular section that we all know with the indications, I thought those movements could be sharper. They were a little too balletic, I think, to really hit those indications. Way too much static body into Mariah's single flip. Come on. She could have done a lot more choreography down the ice for that. That was a whole pattern of ice with not a lot of movement, either feet or body. Loved the Arabian into the sit with the music. Slow part with the spiral was excellent. I think that the ending footwork could have built more with the crescendo in the music. The music is building. To me, when the music is building and the footwork's not, it's really noticeable. And it needed sharper and quicker movements as it got closer to the end. I would really, to me, the most interesting programs have a mix of the classic ballet and the contemporary powerful moves, which Mariah is certainly capable of, and Bibi, you can do. So maybe for the future you might think about that a little bit more. And with Firebird, I would have liked to have a more bird-like feel. It doesn't always have to be the same swan arms, but just something that kind of reminds me of a bird, and especially the ending position. Bibi, I gave you 3.5 stars. Amy Nunn. Okay, Travis Wall, I know the name. I watched So You Think You Can Dance. Didn't know anything about him individually, and kind of found it hard to find something with him just individually. One thing I did notice in what I saw is he uses his full body. There's no joints, eyebrows, face, everything. He uses everything that he has to fulfill his movements and complete his movements. One thing I really liked that you did was you used the beat in the back as well as the vocal rhythm kind of playing off each other, and I found that really interesting. It made me kind of wonder what's coming next, and that's a good thing. I would like to have seen some more original hops and stretches on the second footwork pass. I kept seeing the same hops in the same air position, and I would like to have seen a little more variety in that. Really good diminishing of the intensity at the end. As it gets quieter and slower, you didn't lose any interesting movement all the way to the end. It didn't just die out, which I really liked. And the program, I saw no lapses for playing skating, which is really hard to do, and that's awesome. I gave you 4.5 stars. Muriel. Okay, Mark Ballas. I have to say I'm not a big watcher of Dancing with the Stars, except for when Christy and Evan are on. To me, again, it was hard to find him alone, other than him singing. I felt like his style is kind of ballroom with a contemporary flair, is the way I would have described it. One thing I did see that you did that I think he really does well is the combination of quick and slow movements back to back. That really keeps the viewer's interest, and it's quite noticeable, and I think that was really interesting. I also liked that your body would rise and fall with the voice level, with the excuse me, with the notes. Sometimes I would love to have seen it more often, and when I did see it, I thought, oh, that's really cool, and then I didn't see it enough times again. So if you're going to do it, you need to continue with it, because I missed it when I didn't see it again. I would like to see you take more risk and more original arm movements and original steps. You have really good basics. I would just like you to take those basics and move away from the ordinary. And I gave you 3 stars. Garrett. All right. Yurti, first of all, I wouldn't even say his name that way. But thank you for including the background information that you did. That was very helpful for me. I loved the group number that you put on there, and got the repeated movements and the contrast between sharp and soft. Love the unique shapes that you form with your body. It is amazing. You never ever lost my interest. To me, it was what I would call a full piece of choreography from front to back. I loved the footwork at the end. Loved, loved, loved it. And the suspended final position would make any Pilates teacher proud. I just want to say, if someone sent me that piece of music, I would either say, are you crazy? Or I would say, you know what, I can't even think about this until I see something skated to it, because it was so out there. But what you did was fabulous. I gave you 5 stars. Catherine. Nahareen. Okay, another one. Didn't know anything about. I found the silence on the intro quite interesting. Very much like Torval and Dean's Tango. But since I was having all these technical problems, I thought something was wrong with my computer. Anyway, it would be nice if there was maybe some kind of noise, either with your blades or clapping or snapping fingers or something. I know you can't scrape because you don't scrape when you skate. You have such light, soft edges that are gorgeous. But that's just my opinion. I loved the movement of your body to the melody, as well as to that repetitive flowing background notes. You hit both the upper and the lower levels, and that was really nice. So what you were doing with your feet there, I thought was really cool. It kind of reminded me of what we used to call add a trick. And I don't know how you even remembered it, but it was really nice. It might be too much to ask, but it'd be fun to see more body than just your feet next time. If you ever do that again, it was spectacular. I thought the position on the ending spin was really cool. Never seen that before. And I gave you 5 stars. Robert. Okay, now you tell me how Wesley could ever get into an ugly position. It's not going to happen. I did not have to do any research on Alvin Ailey, though. I've actually watched that before. So Bolero with a totally new arrangement. I felt like the beginning you were hitting the beat with some sharp positions, but to me the melody is real snaky in the beginning of that, and I would like to have seen Wesley do a little bit of that. To me, everything he did was really angular, and I would like to have seen the melody played with a little bit more. I know this is going to be a short program. I'm hoping that he does put something between the axle and the spin, because we like to see things between elements, don't just go from one to the other, so we take that back to him. I thought the footwork was absolutely spectacular. I don't know what level it is, but it was awesome. A +3 to me. So I don't know that I would say, again, I don't know where it's at as far as development for a short program, but the spin positions need to be much more creative, and he's a good spinner. He can do more. And I would like to see a more inventive ending pose, because that's the last thing we see before we put our marks in. Give us something that we really can say, wow, that whole thing was cool. And Robert, I gave you 4.5 stars. So, again, you guys are amazing. I'm so glad Audrey asked me to do this again. I'm so glad she sent Courtney over to help me. I mean, this is Audrey. She does more than what it takes. So, thanks again, and congratulations to you all.